Oh shit. It looks like I've triggered the commentary community. So basically, for those of you guys that don't know, a couple of days ago, I uploaded a video about JonTron because JonTron, after years of political silence, political radio silence, decided to come out and essentially more or less allude to the idea that America has become or is becoming a banana republic because he thinks that the election was fraudulent and that's why Biden won. Really, really weird. Odd, but, so I made a video about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't think JonTron's views have changed since his talk with Destiny, where he outed himself as being a white nationalist, thinking that, like, America or Western countries are for white people, and we need to preserve that. We need to cut off immigration. The Great Replacement is real, that kind of bullshit. I don't think he's changed his views there. So I made that video, and then towards the end, I talked about how I think that for the left to win or to improve itself in the next, 4 years, we need to focus on bringing in non-politically oriented communities into leftism, We need to reach out to like the commentary community, the drama community, so on, and sort of try to show them the right arguments and show them why our political views are the better ones. Because as it stands, it seems like most non-political communities on YouTube lean either centrist or outright, like, full-on right-wing. And sometimes you just don't know. So, like, for me, it was, JonTron being revealed to be an alt-righter was, like, fucking huge. Like, holy shit, that's fucking awful. He never talks about politics in his videos. And then he's on Twitter defending a guy who says that, like, America is being destroyed by LGBT degeneracy and like brown people are terrible and they need to not come to our country. Like, holy fuck. But this clip started passing around on Twitter a little while ago, and a bunch of the drama community got really mad, the commentary and drama community, and Optimus, being one of them, made a video about it. Video about the quote, and the video is called "Your Favorite YouTuber Isn't Liberal Enough." It's funny because he has no idea what my views are because he used a liberal. I'm a leftist, my dude. Liberals and leftists are not the same thing. You'll notice if you watch any of my streams, we basically, here in the lefty circle, shit on liberals constantly, okay? So even your title demonstrates how little you actually know about my views or my intentions. But let's get right into the video. I skipped forward a little bit, so it's just at the beginning here. We'll go ahead and take a nice
already
watch.
Overly political enough.
Okay, there we go. Here we go. What's it at? 1080p? There we go. All right, let's watch. Let's enjoy. I got my coffee. I got my vape. We're going to have a good time.
All right, so if the world wasn't already overly political enough, if everything basically that you're seeing on the TV and even here on my YouTube channel, because like I'm covering political topics as well, as if all that wasn't already like a problem enough, it appears that YouTubers, your favorite YouTubers, commentary YouTubers, drama YouTubers, people like me who just make these videos literally just talking on the internet, well, it turns out that we're not leftist enough, man. It turns out that we are not liberal enough. We are not leaning far enough to the left. And something needs to be done about it, man. Many of you are already thinking, well, Optimus, bro, like, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, most of the time, you just come on here and, you'll talk about something. You'll have a topic. You talk for 10 minutes. Even a lot of the time, it's nothing to do with anything that's, like, really important to the real world. You're just laughing at somebody who did something stupid, or you're making fun of a Karen, or you're reacting to some goofy video you saw on Twitter. And, yeah, that's what I thought, too. I thought that, like, yeah, that's pretty much the basis of it. Occasionally, I'll cover some...
Don't let him fool you here, my dudes. He got mad about a clip on Twitter, okay? That's why he's making this video. He's not making this video because he wants to have like a somewhat productive conversation about politics and apolitical content. Oh yeah, the chat's not on screen. God damn it. There you go. Where is it? Small chat. There it is. Cool. There you go. He's not making this video because he wants to have a productive conversation about being apolitical and making apolitical content. If he did, he would have messaged me something and been like, hey, what did you mean by this? Or something along those lines. But sure, I'll reiterate my position just in case he watches this and wants to know what my view is. So I am a political figure. All of my videos, for the most part, maybe not the gaming streams, but even then I dip into a little bit, are political. I consider myself a political activist, I guess, through the type of content that I do. And because of this, I have a pretty strong stake in my political beliefs being the primary political beliefs of as many people as possible. That's how my political, or the way I see the world becoming as good as it can possibly be, being achieved. You need people to agree with your ideas. So, with that said, it is beneficial for me to try to convince large content creators that don't really get into politics to agree with me through my content, through having conversations with them, and through giving my takes on topics that they are discussing at the time. That's how you win as a political activist. It's not really that complicated. It's actually kind of like the logical thing to do in my position. And yeah, that involves trying to reach out to somebody like Optimus and talk to him, or at the very least try to convince him with my beliefs. Now, when he says he doesn't really make political content, that's debatable. Everything to a certain extent is political. Sometimes it can be very mildly political, and sometimes it can be extremely political, and some people just don't see it, right? So, for example, let's talk about a YouTuber getting banned off of YouTube or any type of private platform like Twitter. Talking about that may seem like it's apolitical, but it's actually very political. Like, for example, when you talk about whether or not a person should be banned off of a certain platform, this also entails a discussion about whether private corporations like Twitter or like Google should have the right to deplatform people because they are private corporations. That is inherent to the discussion. That is a political conversation. Or you've also got the fact that even if the topic itself isn't inherently political, there are political actors who will go out of their way to insert their political opinions already, and it is almost always the right. The left hasn't really been doing this. What I'm suggesting is something the right has been doing for a very long time. Right-wingers love sort of trying to wiggle their way in to certain communities that aren't overtly political and trying to sort of set up grounds there. They've been doing it for a while. It's why right kind of leaning politics have been so popular online for so long. But I suggest the left tries doing the exact same thing. Try to beat the right at the same game. And yeah, it's as simple as that. Like, everything is vaguely political. It can be extremely political or just a little bit. And even if it's not, then sometimes other figures that are political are going to try to worm their way in and try to influence people in that community to go more towards their direction. Could be right and it could be left.
Something like the presidential election or something like that, and that's pretty much the end of it, man. But apparently that is wrong, and I'm being a bad dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a bad boy. I'm being bad for not covering more political topics.
I should clarify here, at no point have I ever said, I want to very much clarify this here. At no point have I said that it is wrong or you are a bad person if you don't want to get into politics or talk about it or whatever. That is completely fine. Actually, I think I even said this in the video that the clip that people have been throwing around comes from. Ironically enough, I clarify that I don't care if you agree with me on political stuff. I don't expect you to start making lefty political content. That's not what I expect from you. All I believe is that we should try to reach out to large figures and try to convince them that our ideas are better than the right's. I don't expect to reach out to Optimus and convince him of my ideas and then now he's making lefty political content. Fuck no. Keep doing what you're doing. That's fine. I haven't morally impugned anybody. The only time I'll morally impugn you for anything like this is if your content is political and that political leaning is towards the right, in which case I'll respond to you and I'll criticize you for it. But I've never, ever morally impugned anybody or said that it is morally wrong to not want to get into politics or to not talk about politics enough.
And airing out my political beliefs more. So usually when I cover more politically based topics like the presidential election and things like that, I tend to try and keep my own personal political views out of things. Unless it directly correlates to the subject at hand, but apparently that's a bad thing, right? So I saw this clip on Twitter of somebody named Xander Hall, apparently, and
hey, you said it right. Listen, some people say Xander Thal, so ups to him. I'll give him a thumbs up for that, saying my name right. Based, saying my name right. I want to clarify once again that, like, I don't think it's wrong to not include your own political beliefs in your videos. And I think I have seen him say some transphobic shit, which I believe I've covered on my channel before. So I know he has some right-leaning ideas. Now, the reason why I prefer that when a political or when a large YouTuber who doesn't really get into political stuff does talk about political stuff, the reason I prefer that they insert their own opinions into it is so that I know what they believe. It's easier for me to convince someone to agree with me if I know what their beliefs are. It's true. There's been a shit tons of times. Optimus is a leftist. He was bashing MAGA hats on Twitter. He is not a leftist. I don't think that making fun of Trump supporters for losing their minds about Trump losing makes you a leftist. Okay, that is a long stretch. At most, the most you could get from that is that he is a left-leaning centrist. Okay, I don't know any of his other political beliefs. However, him making this video and getting mad about a take that's as mild as I want to influence large creators with my political ideas and convince them that I am correct. Someone getting mad about that doesn't exactly make them make me think that they're a leftist, just if we're being completely honest.
He said something that I wanted to react to here because I think that it's completely stupid. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make the wild assumption here that this guy leans a little bit left politically, which is fine, right? I don't understand, like, why people get so worked up and hateful over political ideologies. Like, at the end of the day, your personal beliefs on things really oftentimes aren't that big of a deal, to be honest. Like, they...
Okay. Whew. All right, this is a interesting take here. So... All right, hold on. I got to internalize this argument really quickly. So no, your political beliefs do matter. Let's say, for example, you're watching a YouTuber, let's say a gaming YouTuber. You really enjoy this gaming YouTuber. You watch him a lot, and you find out that he likes slavery. He wants slavery back. He wants black people to be enslaved. He wants gay people sent off to, like, concentration camps and whatnot. This is what this particular hypothetical person believes. And he doesn't usually talk about politics, but then he just decides to bring it up once, and that's his beliefs. I feel like it's not unreasonable to maybe be a little bit upset that a political or that a YouTuber that you follow believes those things. Or let's say you have a friend, for example, and you don't really talk about politics with this friend. You just kind of hang out, you chill, you vibe, you smoke weed together. Sometimes you have a bit of a circle jerk. What bros do, you know? And then he brings up that, you know, I kind of like the idea of eugenics. I think people who are born with any type of disability should be forced to not allow to be born. And I think the people who have a higher predilection to have a baby that's disabled should just be sterilized. Imagine that's what your friend says to you. I feel like it's okay for that to upset you a bit, and it's reasonable if you don't want to continue being friends with that person. Let's talk about elections, right? I mean, If you want to talk about political views mattering, I mean, we've got the election happening or just having happened, right? You know, it like that affects who you're going to vote for, and who you vote for, it is going to influence the entire country. And if you're American, then the entire world, you know, because America is the strongest country in the world and the best and the only one that actually matters. I'm sorry if you're from any other country than America. Sorry, America's the best. It's true. But yeah, your political views matter. I don't understand. Like, you have to be in, like, a really, really cushy position to say someone's political views don't matter. You really do. Because for many people, the idea of their friend voting for Trump, or for any random person voting for Trump, or being conservative, or supporting certain ideas, it matters. You know, it does. Trump's administration was trying to end. Trump put a court justice in place that actively wants to destroy Roe v. Wade. So there's abortion rights gone. That actively wants to. That his administration asked if there was a way they could roll back the ability for gay people, like LGBT people, to adopt children. They also tried to. They're also looking at ways to roll back, or were. Before, you know, the Trump lost, they were looking at a way to try to roll back the federal legalization of gay marriage. Like, dude, people's political opinions matter.
Really aren't that important. Like, sure, it's important to vote and whatnot, but dude, when it comes down to me getting on a fucking YouTube video and sharing my political beliefs, it really just isn't that important most of the time. Honestly, most people just simply don't care, and at the end of the day, it oftentimes is just a big waste of time because you don't actually make anyone think any differently, or you don't change the world in any significant way. But
absolutely untrue. This idea is the main thing that I want to tackle with a lot of people. Even if I don't convince Optimus to become like a leftist or like a liberal or whatever, to go left of wherever he is now, that is not... I would be happy if I could just convince him that his political beliefs do have an effect on a significant amount of people. How many subs does Optimus have? 1.03 million subs. That is 1 million people he's reaching there. Just to give you an idea, Biden won most of the states that turned the election in his favor by like a few thousand to like a bit over like a few dozen thousands. Like literally fractions of Optimus's sub count were the deciders in many states of whether or not Biden won. Just to give you an idea of how close the election was. And this video, having only been out an hour ago, has 38,000 views. And, of course, the amount of people from your fan base that have come into my stream right now, most of them in chat, have been I saw some of your fans. I assume Optimus is watching this right now. Optimus, I saw some of your fans in my chat talking about how like gay people are degenerate and need to be like sent to camps. Shit like that, you know? So yeah. Isn't Optimus defending Johnny Depp for beating his wife? Oh my fucking God. Johnny Depp did not beat his wife. What was his wife's name? Amber Heard? Is that her name? I don't remember exactly. She fabricated all of it. I don't know if you guys saw that like audio that came out. It turns out she was beating Johnny Depp and made everything up. Literally audio came out of him saying, "Please stop hitting me. You have to stop hitting me." And she says, I'll hit you again. I'm going to keep doing it." She was an abuser and a gaslighter who managed to turn a shit ton of people against him. And now that the evidence has come back, like no one's talking about it. So, I mean, I can appreciate Optimus for talking about that. If Optimus talked about the Johnny Depp shit, that's also a political conversation to have. I know it sounds like the feminist position to take Amber Heard's side in this conversation, but it's actually not. The feminist position is to say, wow, isn't it fucked up that the immediate assumption that everybody had was that the guy was beating on his wife? You know, isn't that kind of fucked up? That's toxic. That's like a toxic masculinity or whatever. The expectation that, oh yeah, the dude totally was fucking beating up his wife. That's a conversation that feminists have, not the liberal ones. Liberals are fucking cringe, but leftist feminists talk about this kind of shit all the time. The inequality in society where men are perceived as the violent ones who are more likely to be the abusers in a situation. And because of that, whenever men are abused by women, they end up getting looked over. That is a political topic. That is something that I talk about on my channel. And, well, I assume Optimus has talked about this because people kept on bringing it up in YouTube chat.
I want to go ahead and introduce you guys to the clip here, and then we'll start reacting to it from there. It's about 1.5 minutes long almost, and it's chock full of some stuff that I want to react to, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Leftists need to infiltrate the YouTube drama community. The YouTube drama community is, at best, marginally center-left leaning, and at worst, full-on, like, reactionary alt-right, like with Keemstar.
Okay, so we got that statement right there. You know what I'm saying? We need to infiltrate the YouTube drama scene. We need to speak to these creators who, at best, are marginally left, center left, or they're alt-right like Keemstar, which that's something that I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of people say that Keemstar is alt-right. Like, it's almost like a buzz term that they use to describe.
No, he definitely is. Keemstar is friends with, like, self-avowed neo-Nazis. He's, you know, kind of gotten in that position. He's actively pushing a conspiracy theory that the Trump won because of voter fraud at the very moment. He's losing his shit because Trump lost. He's been simping for that shit for a while. He's gone on to a very well-known Nazi podcast called the Kill Stream, although it's kind of dying off now. He goes on there pretty frequently. He's friends with those people. He agrees with their ideas. Keemstar is definitely alt-right, yeah.
Keemstar. But I just want to go ahead and say this. Okay, you know what? I tend to lean a little center-left, right? Okay, this guy maybe a little spot on with that. Let's go ahead and consider the following here, all right? Not everyone has to be in the same political ideology that you are, okay?
True.
Not everyone has to think just like you. That's something that most people realize, right? Like, we're like, hey, people...
I don't expect everybody to think just like I do. That's not what I expect. My entire point in this clip that came out, which, by the way, clipped kind of unflatteringly, kind of makes me come off as aggressive, kind of like I'm trying, like I got a master plan, even though I uploaded this video as a clip on YouTube and it has tens of thousands of views. No, my entire point is that I want to make good arguments that convince people to believe what I do. That's my entire point. Does he think that I want to, like, put people into chairs and, like, wrench their eyes open and then force them to watch my videos until they agree with me? No. I would love to just have a conversation with Optimus and talk about my beliefs, see if I can convince him. Even if it's just on one issue, as simple as like, oh, by the way, if you're a large figure, what you believe in politically matters. Something as simple as that would, for him to agree with me on that, I'd be happy. My whole entire argument is I want to convince people to agree with me on most issues in the way of me making the best arguments possible. That's literally all I said.
People can have fundamentally different beliefs. They've had different life experiences that have led them to come to different conclusions. That's acceptable, and especially in a community that is relatively non-political pretty much all the time, and like most people in this community make their living reacting to a Karen getting upset or talking about the latest YouTube drama. You would think in a community like...
Well, let's talk about those two examples, right? Like, usually when a Karen gets upset, and I know this because I watch a lot of Karen videos, usually they have like a racist breakdown. Like, they'll go really racist. I think we can all agree on that. Racism is a pretty political issue, or more recently, for the last like year, it's about wearing masks, and unfortunately coronavirus and how serious it is and whether or not masks should be worn has become a political issue due to Trump, kind of downplaying the severity of the virus and what have you. These are both political conversations. The two examples that you brought up are overtly political.
Like that, it literally wouldn't matter at all, but apparently it's a very big deal. But apparently it's such a big deal that the community needs to be quote-unquote infiltrated. Like, it's being spoken as...
Okay, I should say I'm a streamer. The way that I keep people watching me for long periods of time is I get really hyperbolic. I use very strong wording. When I say infiltrate, I basically just mean talk to them. Cover their videos, get conversations with them, show them our arguments, and see what happens. That's what I mean when I say infiltrate. What do you think I mean when I say infiltrate? Like, go undercover, pretend to just be a normal drama YouTuber, and then start making leftist political content? What do you think I mean when I say infiltrating?
As if it's like some like tight-knit group where like no outsiders are allowed in. Nobody can get behind the big red curtain of the commentary community. We're all just sitting in here, the ones of us that have made it, and
No, but for the most part, I think it's because a lot of leftist kind of figures online, particularly on YouTube, don't really do much to sort of reach out to this community. It's really unfortunate. Basically, every political figure that I know that's left-leaning makes content that just sort of sits out there and sort of pulls in whoever happens to click on it and hear the arguments. That's basically it. And unfortunately, anybody who isn't really interested in clicking on a political video isn't going to be exposed to those ideas or those arguments. And I think that it's important that I try to reach out to non-political commentators in different communities, everything from the horror community to the drama community to the commentary community, try to reach out to those people, show them my arguments, and convince them of my ideas. I don't think there's enough outreach from leftist creators like me to other communities that aren't like overtly political.
We got our arms around each other. It's like, all right, guys, what right-wing policies are we going to promote on our channels today? Like, it really doesn't matter whatsoever, but it's being treated as if like it's the most...
I want to remind you all that this is what he's saying after the quote of me saying, We need to infiltrate the drama community and the commentary community because at the moment it seems like at most they are leaning center left and at worst leaning far right like Keemstar. That is the quote that I said. And now he's going off about some shit about like them promoting right-wing policy. The one example of someone who is far right that I've mentioned is Keemstar. That is the one example that I gave. I can't really think of any drama YouTubers off the top of my head that are far right besides him. I think for the most part, the drama community and the commentary community are like pretty left leaning. The only like other far right commentary YouTuber that I can think of who hasn't been on the platform for a while was Lieutenant Corbus, aka Soph. Whenever she went off about like how gay LGBT people are degenerate pedophiles and then talked about like bombing and killing Muslims and like murdering them all. She used to be like a Leafy clone back in the day, but then she got banned off of YouTube. But, you know, that's kind of how it goes, right? By the way, Optimus, if you see this video, I would love to have you on to just like chat. It doesn't have to be a debate. It doesn't have to be hostile. I'd be happy to just like talk it out, like just to clarify my position. I don't know if you'll see this video or not. It's all good. Like my entire goal is to make good arguments that convince people that I am right. That is all that I'm getting at here.
Important possible thing to do when it really just doesn't even make any sense to do it.
There is not any leftist representation in the YouTube drama sphere.
True.
And I plan on getting into that quite hard. When there is YouTube drama happening, like non-political YouTube drama happening, I'm going to worm my way into that shit, and I'm going to give my takes on it. I'm going to try to build myself into that community.
Have you ever considered the reason that there's no quote-unquote leftist representation, especially in the YouTube commentary and drama communities, is
Why?
because politics in general just have no fucking real business in that sector? Like,
Really?
You're basic.
Really? Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Then why is it every time I cover any like drama channel, the people from their fan base that come over to me are always in my chat calling me the N-word and are always conservative, or they're spamming MAGA 2020, or I guess now it's MAGA 2024. Why is it that every time I cover these channels, the fans are overwhelmingly right-leaning, the ones that come over? Now I understand that if a YouTuber who responds to me who isn't generally political, like responds to me, usually it's going to be their right-leaning fans that are going to come over. But I think it's probably because you facilitate a space in which people with terrible beliefs feel kind of comfortable espousing them because you don't really push back on it. And I don't really expect you to push back on it. That's not your job. It's not your place. You do drama stuff. My only argument is that because I don't see a lot of sort of leftist representation in the drama community, I want to give my take on current drama happening right now. Like right now, I think a big drama. I was watching Bo Black's videos about it. He uploaded a new one right before stream started, so I wasn't able to watch. But right now, there's some drama going on with Pyrocynical. Apparently, Pyrocynical groomed like a 15-year-old and was like passing back and forth some like furry porn with this kid in Discord a few years back. I don't know all the facts about it yet, so I'm not going to give my takes on it just yet. I'm hoping it's not true because I like Pyrocynical, and it would be really bad if Pyrocynical did in fact groom a kid. We don't know yet, but I'm excited to see where this leads. And then once all the information is out, and I'm pretty sure I can comfortably give my takes on it, I want to give my takes on it. Now, if it's not necessarily political, then, you know, I'm still going to talk about it. And it won't really get political. I'll just give my takes on it. But if there is a political leaning to the discussion, then I'm giving my take on it. That's all I have to say. That's basically all I'm arguing.
You're basically making this statement of like, there's nobody who plays football in this reading book club. I plan to infiltrate it and teach them the ideologies of football. They will learn the shotgun formation. They're going to understand how to blitz.
This is not a valid comparison whatsoever, I'm afraid. So the problem is that commentary generally does sort of have a somewhat political leaning. God, can I give an example? Let's talk about the Leafy drama, right? Here's some like drama that happened that on the surface doesn't seem very like political, but it absolutely was. So here we go. When Leafy got banned from YouTube, there were a lot of far-right political figures that were like, hey, Leafy, isn't the crazy leftist cancel culture so bad? You should come kind of chill with us, come onto my stream on what's it called? What's it called? D Live? Yeah, on D Live. Come, let's tell you about the Jews and what the Jews are up to. You're banned because the Jews want you gone. Like shit like that. Even something that seems as apolitical as Leafy getting banned off of YouTube ends up being a political discussion because people make it a political discussion. That's the reason why I want to get into it. I don't want a bunch of far-right people butting themselves into these. Also, I'm sweaty as fuck. Look how sweaty I get whenever I stream. It's crazy. I don't want right-leaning people to be the ones that manage to infiltrate the drama community as they have for a while now. I want left-leaning people to do that. And if you are center-left-leaning, which I think you are, Optimus, though I'd still like to talk to you and sort of find out all your beliefs, I want to convince you of my beliefs. That's it. That's all I want to do.
It's with the best of them. Like, dude, it doesn't have anything to fucking do what these people are doing. Why is that the one thing out of the community that you're trying to, like, kind of pin people on, right? It's like their political ideologies. How many commentary channels do you know make political content if you completely disregard political commentary, which is basically what he's already done? I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 here with you. People who are more worried about which YouTuber is bad today or what drama to talk about today, they're probably not that fucking worried about universal single-payer healthcare or anything like that.
That's not all politics is. That's not what it is. Actually, here, we'll give a good example. Antiperspirant, son. I'm wearing tons of fucking... I literally just sweat every time I stream. I don't know why. It's probably because the chair. Actually, this is true. If you're looking to, like, shop for gaming chairs, leather chairs, like what I have right now, make you sweat. I don't know why, but they make you sweat. You should usually try to go for something with, like, cloth or some kind of, like, nothing leather. Anything with, like, a hard, sort of, like, non-fluffy surface will make you sweat. It's true. Actually, no, I can give an example of this. A drama channel that does talk about politics and does put in right-wing politics into their videos. Blair fucking White. Blair White right now is I'm not even hot. Lonnie, I'm not even hot right now. I'm nice and cold. Yeah, net neutrality was a big one. All the commentary channels talked about net neutrality getting taken away. What about copyright? What about copyright? That's a big one. How tons of YouTubers and Twitch streamers get hit by copyright claims for showing 10 seconds of a fucking song. That's political. What about Blair White? Where, like, she'll make a video about, like, Jeffree Star and, I don't know, just insert whatever fucking dumb drama that was happening at the time with all that shit. Sopa and Pippa from back in the day. That was a big one. That's a political discussion. Lots of commentary channels talked about. Blair White, obviously, will talk one day about like some drama that's happening right now, and the next day she's talking about how trans people, blah blah blah, bad trans turfy shit. I don't know, like that kind of shit. And then she got called out for being a liar, which I've been calling her out for a while, but finally she got shit from the vast majority of people for it. The Quartering, who you could consider a commentary channel, who constantly goes off about how SJWs are ruining video games because there's like a black person in it or something. Like, yeah, no shit. Tons of people claim they're not political because they just make drama content or commentary content, but believe me, when it does get political, it tends to have a right-leaning bent. Generally. Okay.
They probably don't really give a shit about that. And if they do, they go, oh, hey, this has nothing to do with my channel. I'm not going to say anything about it. I don't know if you know that's a possibility or like...
I mean, he's basing this... I'm not going to respond to anything he says next because he's basically... he's making the presumption, the false presumption, that politics means electoral politics and talking about shit like healthcare. That is political, but politics expands way beyond any of that.
Accept that that's kind of the reality of the situation here, but most of us don't care about politics. And the ones of us that do, you know, mention it in passing or mention it when the...
If you don't care about politics, then you're probably in a position where politics don't affect you. But for most people, or you don't realize it, but for most people, politics affect you. Like, for example, we can see eye to eye on this, Optimus. I assume with a channel over 1 million subs that gets as many views as you do YouTube for a living. This is your job, I would presume. I do YouTube as my job as well. So I know what it's like to pay taxes under a certain administration, right? This is something that you actually should care about. Under Trump, taxes for small businesses have actually gone up compared to larger businesses. I actually have to pay like, what is it, like 40%? It was like 35 to 40% of my income to the federal government. As a YouTuber that last year, I paid my last year's taxes, made like, I did not make much last year. I think it was like less than $4,000 I made last year. My shit's gone way up this last year. Enough for me to do this as a job. I had to pay like 30 to 40% or some shit. And I'm going to have to do it again for this year's taxes as a small business, which is what doing YouTube is considered, because you're technically like a private, like, small business or whatever. And Trump's the one that hiked the taxes up on that shit. So that affects you, whether you realize it or not. Under Obama, YouTubers were paying less in taxes because most of them didn't make a shit ton of money. It was large corporations that were the ones paying a lot in taxes.
Topic comes up, there's people of all different types of beliefs. Like, I have openly supported candidates like Andrew Yang. I have publicly supported movements like Black Lives Matter, which was primarily a left-leaning movement. I was put on a fucking internet list, okay, by some person because of my support for BLM. What do you mean that there's no leftist representation? Like, dog, there doesn't have to be, because...
Wait, you just said that you have good political beliefs I agree with you on, and you got shit for them. That's my point. You said that you espoused some left-leaning beliefs, and people got fucking pissed about it and put you on a fucking list? I get that same kind of shit, my dude. That's something we can bond over. How fucked up is it that you, being left-leaning, came out of your shell for just a moment and said that you support BLM, and then you got put on a fucking list for it, dude? Does that not say something about the community that you inhabit? That you are in a community of people that tend to be right-leaning enough that when you espouse the slightest left-leaning belief, you got put on a fucking list for supporting BLM? I don't know. I assume when you say list, it's like in a bad way. Like somebody put you on like their fucking list. You know what I'm saying? Does that not support my argument? I don't think that's the type of list he means. It was One Angry Gamer's list? Wait, what? What list? Hold on, I have no idea what list he's referring to. One Angry Gamer's Traders of America list. I assume that's ironic, right? I think One Angry Gamers is pretty left-leaning. Or not One Angry Gamer. Oh, yeah. No, it is One Angry Gamers. Yeah, I was thinking of some ordinary gamers. Yeah, One Angry Gamers. The fucking, the neo-Nazi dude. Yeah. No, the guy who put him on a list is One Angry Gamer, not Some Ordinary Gamers. I know, I get mixed up with them a lot. Some Ordinary Gamers is Muda, super cool dude. One Angry Gamer is like a neo-Nazi, like, a games dude who talks about, like, hold on, I should clarify, because the people that are watching right now, for the most part, like from Optimus fan base, probably think that I would call anybody a Nazi. Hold on, no. Ooh. Let's look at his website, and I'll give you... This is the guy that put Optimus on the Traders of America list. Let's look at this guy's news stuff. Industry news, politics. We'll look at his politics stuff, because that's the relevant shit, right? EA's Ultimate Team mode violates California state gambling laws, says Kevin Ramirez. Trump banned Tencent, everything you need to know. Traders to America move to abolish civil rights in California. Traders to America about to plunge Seattle into chaos, warns police, guild president. Japan wants to expand cyberbullying laws in wake of Hana Kimura's death. Don't know who that is. Patriot Act provision allows FBI to access your browsing history without warrant. New Zealand COVID-19 bill grants enforcers totalitarian position without warrants. Believe the women didn't mean believe all women all the time. Quote the Democrat forevermore. De Blasio's snitch line flooded with dick pics, Hitler memes, and rare birds. Michigan governor threatens quarantine extension to punish protesters. Punish protesters that were protesting against masks, by the way. Yeah, this dude... Hold on, can we look at his gaming stuff where he talks about... Oh, yeah. Let's look at the Ariel one. Hold on. Little Mermaid. Oh, this is a good one. Wow, I can't type today. I hate myself. Little. Kill me, please. I'm a fucking boomer. I was born in the gap between not learning cursive in school and not learning how to type in school. That is the gap I was born into. Come on, load. His website's so slow. Really? Hold on, we're gonna find it. One Angry Gamer Little Mermaid. I remember I covered this on stream. It was him getting mad about, did they delete it? Did he delete it? What do you say, babe? I misspelled mermaid? Oh, okay. Makes sense. Oh, I found it. I found it. I found it on Twitter. We're good. Here it is. Here it is. Wait, what? Are you fucking kidding me? I fucking hate. Here it is. Okay. I think they deleted it because whenever I click on this link, it doesn't show it. Halle Berry casts race-swapped Ariel for upcoming live-action Little Mermaid. Okay, let's see if this actually opens it. They fucking deleted it. They actually deleted it. Whenever I opened it up, it takes it to the main page. They did delete it? Okay, then I will summarize this. We can read the beginning of it here. The left are going all in on their propaganda machine. They decided to race swap Ariel for the upcoming live action and CGI rendition of The Little Mermaid. Basically, he goes out, he goes on about how, like, I think he calls the actress an octoroon, which is a slur for mixed people, and then goes off about, like, degeneracy and whatnot, and the left trying to make everything, take whiteness away from white people and shit. This is the guy that put Optimus on a list of traitors to America when he said that he supports BLM. So that's my entire point, my dude. You've got people like this that are just hanging around that have, like, arguably pretty large online presence. I mean, this guy has a pretty prominent gaming journalism website, you know? And you got put on a list for espousing, like, a left-leaning political belief. Oh, wait, they got bought out? He doesn't own the website anymore? That's hilarious. The website got bought out and they fucking deleted the goddamn article because it got too masked off for them.
Shockingly enough, most of us who do actually pay attention to politics in this community, we don't make it a fucking personality trait. And I think that's a big problem with people today now, as is. They make their political beliefs such a big personality trait that they allow it to define who they are as human beings.
Now, Optimus is using this to prop up an incorrect argument, but I will give this exact take from a correct perspective. There are people that on the right and the left that do this. I'm not going to lie. It is true. If you go to, like, lefty Twitter or right-wing Twitter, this is all these people talk about, and it's on the right and the left. Like, if you see a right-winger on Twitter, their entire bio is generally like MAGA 2020, facts don't care about your feelings, pronouns fuck you, and so on. And then when you get, like, lefties that do it, they're basically these terminally online dipshits that talk about how they're going to start the revolution from their fucking computer chair and whatnot. My position is simply that your political views do matter. I want to influence people to agree with my political views by making the right arguments, and that's it. That's literally it. I'm not under the delusion that I'm going to be the spark of a revolution or anything. My entire point is essentially to try to convince people with my arguments to agree with me. Which is kind of like, if you talk about any, like, when you do your commentary videos, I imagine you give your opinions on whatever's going on, right? I assume you try to make arguments for what you believe. You're doing it right now. You are arguing right now to convince your audience of your opinion in this video. In this case, it's political, but in any video, even if it's not a political video, you do the same thing. You and I do the same thing in a different format. You try to convince people to agree with your take on a particular bit of drama, and I try to convince people to agree with my take on drama and on politics. That's our jobs. We do the same thing, essentially, just in a different format. I do it live, you do it recorded.
And, you know, usually those are the people who aren't really that grounded in reality. Those are the weirdos. Those are the people who are impossible to talk to and be around. So that's not a good thing, bro.
I'm going to be building bridges with other non-political YouTubers. You've seen me trying to do it with, I've done it with JXC, I'd say. I'm trying to do it with Long Beach Griffey. I'm going to be doing it with other non-political YouTubers.
So what I'm hearing is you're going to basically only try and befriend commentary YouTubers who, for the most part, aren't political whatsoever. You're only going to befriend them in order to boost your own talking points, in order to...
No. So, what? That's not what I said. Also, for one, hold on, does this guy know who Long Beach Griffey is? Literally, all I do is I bring somebody on and I talk with them. I just chat it out with them. That's it. That's what I did with JXC and Long Beach Griffey. Also, Long Beach Griffey isn't a commentary YouTuber. He makes sketches. He makes funny sketches on YouTube and uploads them. They're like little fucking things. He plays the characters and then they go back and forth and then the yelling happens and then it goes day after day. Dun, dun. Yeah, I don't remember the whole song. Like that's his videos. And we just like talked it out and he agreed with a lot of what I said. And it was a fun conversation. That's it. I'm not only going after... Also, I just generally want to build friendships with people like on YouTube, by the way. Like, if we're being completely honest here, I do have political motivations for it as well. But also, fuck, I want to talk to these people. Like, a lot of these people I look up to. I used to watch Optimus a lot. I'd love to talk to him as somebody who watched Optimus a lot back when, like, commentary YouTuber was a big thing. Like, you're extrapolating a lot from that quote that I never said.
To basically just benefit yourself. You're not going to try and get close to these people or get into this community because you care about anything they're talking about. You're not going to try and get into this community to really try and be cool with these people. You're only going to do this.
I mean, Long Beach Griffey invited me on his podcast, and I plan on going out. What was the restaurant he wanted to get? I think he wanted to get some... Was it In-N-Out? He wanted, I think it was Long Beach Griffey wanted to take me to get some In-N-Out and go on his podcast and stuff. No, absolutely, I want to become friends with the people that I'm reaching out to. Was it In-N-Out? Roscoe's. It wasn't In-N-Out, it was Roscoe's. Long Beach Griffey wanted to take me to get Roscoe's to have like this, I think it was like a waffle, well, it was like a waffle thing, I think it was. I don't remember. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think the problem is here is Optimus usually isn't dealing with people who can make arguments like Xander Hall. Yeah, exactly. I think what's happened is a lot of people have been brain poisoned by their perception of like left-leaning people online, like left-leaning political activists being these crazy SJWs that are super militant and like lose their shit when anyone disagrees with them. Like, and so they're hearing me basically just like say I want to chat with these people and convince them that I am correct on political issues, and they are extrapolating from that due to how much they've dealt with from like other people that they are associating with me, that I want to like worm myself into it and force them to agree with me, which is not what I want to do at all.
In order to bring politics into shit where it doesn't need to be brought into. Like, if you can fully explain to me why drama YouTubers should give a shit and talk about politics on their channels that have nothing to do with politics, never have had anything to do with politics, literally just places where they upload content talking about...
I mean, I don't expect, like I said before, I've said this multiple times, I don't expect, like, let's say hypothetically, I brought Optimus on right now. And I talked for like 4 hours with Optimus, and he came out of it saying, holy shit, you made really good arguments. I'm a leftist now. Fuck down with capitalism, trans rights, fuck Trump, and so on. And let's say hypothetically I did that. I would not expect him after that to start talking about politics in his channel. That's not what I would expect for him. I'd basically just expect him to keep doing the content that he's doing. That's it. My only goal is to convince people. And I think that like, and let's say occasionally some drama happens that does have a political leaning. Like I think with the James Charles shit. Do you guys remember that shit that happened between, what's her name? Tati Westbrook. Between Tati Westbrook and James Charles, there was a shit ton of people from Tati Westbrook's fan base that were throwing homophobic insults at James Charles, because one of the big arguments she made was that James Charles tried to turn a straight guy gay, and then after all the drama happened, the guy that she was referring to came out and said, no, that's not what happened. I was bi-curious, and James Charles, all he did was like offer to like, you know, do some stuff and explore for him to explore his sexuality. He didn't try to push it on him. He was friendly about it, like all that shit. The guy that she was referencing came out and debunked what she said. You didn't hear anybody fucking talking about that. like the James Charles tries to turn straight dudes gay thing just became a prominent idea in that community from then on out. There was a ton of homophobia for the people in the people going after James Charles. I think that's relevant when that kind of drama is happening. So like, sure, I guess I'd expect that, like, if more drama like that happened, or we were to go back in time, that drama was happening again, you may, like, offhandedly remark, oh, by the way, a lot of people that are going after James Charles are also using homophobic arguments, like, he's, like, trying to turn straight dudes gay or something like that. That would be the most politics I would expect you to dip into if we had a conversation and you came out of it, completely agreeing with me and being, like, a leftist. That's it. I don't expect you to become like a politics YouTuber. My whole point is I want to convince people to agree with me by making the best arguments.
About other YouTubers and what they're doing, maybe then you can try and make a point, but you can't adequately even bring that up. Like, there's no adequacy to any of that argument because at the end of the day, it's fucking stupid and pointless because most people in this community, once again, do not give a shit about anything you have to say. So at this point, all you're doing is looking like a fucking weirdo, and you're telling me, oh, hey, if this guy ever comes around, yeah, just ignore him, don't talk to him, because he's just gonna try and insert some political ideology into your friendship and make it all about that. So don't talk.
I mean, I don't think you and I don't plan on becoming friends with everybody that I talk to, right? I mean, it's nice. I like being friends with people, but my main point is I want to like have political conversations with them. Like, let's talk about, you know what? Okay, here's one of my biggest inspirations for the types of conversations I want to have with people, actually. And this is actually a good comparison, I guess. Not perfect, but pretty good. Who's heard of Healthy Gamer GG? Have you heard of Healthy Gamer GG? This guy, you guys heard of him? Basically, he's a I believe a Harvard graduate psychologist who streams on Twitch. And what he'll do is he'll talk to prominent streamers and just have a conversation with them and talk about like anxiety, what they're dealing with, how they're feeling, all that kind of shit. He actually recently talked to ContraPoints recently. I'd love to talk to him sometime eventually, maybe when I'm bigger. But he's talked to smaller figures than me, so who knows? You could make the same argument. He's bringing people on to talk to people about their mental health. He is essentially, you could argue, injecting topics about mental health into the gaming community, into streaming communities and whatnot. You could make the same exact argument. I'm essentially trying to do for politics what this guy does for mental health. That's what I'm doing. And that is it. That's it. I assume if you want to be consistent, you would also be against this guy. That's all I'm trying to do. Do you think that, like, if he forms a friendship with a YouTuber, he's only doing it because he's interested in their mental health? Or what? Like, no. I want to have conversations with people. That's it. Just like he does.
Talk to this fucking guy. I think this clip is going to end up actually doing the exact opposite of what you want it to do, because now, as people see this and they realize what you're doing, bro, they're just going to be like, yeah, I don't want to talk to this guy.
Actually, it has, and I've been reached out to by a shit ton of people that want to talk to me now. I've actually got some pretty interesting conversations lined up. I'm going to be talking to Calvin Gara. I've got a conversation lined up. I may be able to get a conversation with some ordinary gamers. That would be pretty interesting. I'll be debating, what's his name? Fuck, what's his name? Some fucking reactionary dude on Augie's channel in 2 days that was really mad about this clip. Like, yeah, no, Dusty is unrelated. Willie Mac, yeah, I'll be talking to Willie Mac, though it's going to be more in a debate format. We'll see. Actually, this is at the exact opposite, because believe it or not, negative coverage is good coverage. You making this video on me is no doubt going to attract your fans to my channel, no doubt left-leaning ones that are going to come see my video response to it, think I made good arguments, and they're going to sub to me. This is going to benefit me in every single way. This is not going to harm my channel in any way. In fact, ever since this drama started popping off, let's go ahead and look at my social blade right now, actually. Let's look at my social blade. How's it been doing these last couple days? How is this hurting my channel? Let's see. Damn. I am crying over here. Look at that. 500 subs today, 500 subs yesterday, 700 subs the day before that, 300 the day before that, 200 the day before that, 100, 100, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 300, 800. Yeah, I think I'm doing all right. Yeah, no, I don't think this is going to hurt me all that much. Yeah, nah, I'm really taking a really bad hit right now. Yeah, I'm really taking a hit right now. No, dude, this isn't going to harm me in any way, okay? This is only going to benefit me. More people are going to discover me. It's not going to happen. Healthy Gamer GG talks to his wife like a fucking child in time, spinning around. He's like a wholesome 100. I don't know about that, Leroy. That was from me getting a copyright claim, Razatron. Why is he showing... That is... Why is he showing the clip of me? Wait, is he going to try to, like, get... or like Mudahar to unfollow me because of like drama? Why would he show this clip of me saying that's awesome? Good. This is a win. I will do everything in my power when I am large enough to try to get him on my channel for a talk. That would be a big win. That would be a big win.
Like, this is giving me the energy of that kid who would come into foods class and just start arguing about politics while everybody's trying to do their fucking thing. You know, just the
So that was a really weird clip to include. So for those of you guys that don't know, I made a video response to Mudahar, and since I actually like him a lot, I was like really nice in my response to him. I wasn't like rude or anything like that because I knew that he's not like some crazy fucking right winger. Where is it? It's back when I still lived in Florida, so it was a little while ago. Let's see. It should be right here. Here's the video. 33,000 views. This is the video that I responded to him with. He ended up watching the video and then messaging me saying, I actually liked your video a lot. I think you made some really good arguments, and then followed me on Twitter. Like, yeah, no. He made a video that was about politics. It was about hate speech and hate and dog whistling and hate symbols and whatnot. He made a political video. I responded to it why I thought he was wrong, and then he messaged me and said he liked my video. Why do you think this is like... That was such a weird clip to include.
class has nothing to do with this, like no one's talking about it, but they come in and bring it up and make a big scene. That's all this really gives me in terms of the vibe. So, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, okay, it's one thing to be excited because, you know, maybe like a big YouTuber you look up to followed you.
That's also part of it, I should clarify. Like, yeah, no, I like Mudahar a lot, and it was pretty fucking insane seeing some, like, a big YouTuber that I like follow me. That's true. But also, I'm excited to talk to them. When I look up to... Listen... As a political YouTuber, a lot of, like, my job is to talk about politics, okay? It is my job to stay caught up on what's going on, to constantly improve my knowledge, to build my knowledge and to improve my arguments. And because of this, whenever I watch, like, a non-political YouTuber, at the back of my mind, at the very least, I'm always wondering, I wonder where this person stands politically, you know? Maybe that's not everybody. I know that's not everybody. But for me personally, whose job is politics, I'm a political commentator, I'm constantly wondering that shit. It's constantly at the back of my mind. So in the case of Mudahar, it was really nice having a large YouTuber who not only do I like and am excited about following me, but also who I could have a cool political conversation with and figure out what he believes politically. That would be awesome. Gus Johnson, another person I look up to. If Gus Johnson followed me, though I know he's pretty left-leaning, just based on his videos and based on what his girlfriend said, like he was a Bernie supporter, I would love to talk to Gus Johnson about politics, not only because I enjoy his videos and I look up to him, but also because, holy shit, it would be cool to learn the political... As someone who cares a lot about politics, it's cool to have talks with large figures about politics. It's my job. Of course I get excited about that kind of shit.
I've been extremely excited in the past when big creators and even like big artists outside of that have followed me and things like that and watched me and I've talked to them because, you know, I've looked up to them for years, that type of shit. But bro, when you're flexing, you know, like Mudahar here, who I've talked to several times personally, you know what I'm saying? When you're flexing a follow...
I chatted with him a bit in DMs, but nothing crazy.
...of his on Twitter... under the only pretense of it, like, mattering to you being the fact that you're going to try and manipulate him, and...
I mean, I never... Wow, that is some strong... That's stronger wording than I used in the clip that you showed on stream. No, I don't think being excited to talk to somebody about politics and try to make good arguments to convince them of my beliefs is manipulation. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Now I just want to debate him. Okay.
quote-unquote infiltrate the commentary community to get people like Mudahar on your channel to talk about fucking politics. Not only does that come off extremely weird and cringy, but it comes off as extremely disingenuous. Because at the end of the day, Mutahar is a really cool person. Like, and I'm not just saying that. I've talked to Mutahar several times. He is a fucking dope person. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube.
He's pretty cool. Like, this is like such a reach. Like, I really don't want to be mean in this. I really don't want to be mean in this video because I know Optimus is like mildly left leaning, and like I know his heart's not in the wrong place. Like, guys, if I'm being completely honest, I don't believe that Optimus is like bad. Like, his political views are terrible. I know he said some cringy shit about trans people and whatnot, but besides that, I don't think he's like a right winger who like hates the left or anything like that. I think his heart's in the right place. I just think he's making some really bad arguments here. That's basically it.
I've had zero political discussions with him, and I'm assuming at the end of the day, considering the fact that he lives in Canada and not the United States as well, it's really not something he gives a fuck about. Or if...
America is the most powerful country in the world. Everybody is affected by American politics, especially if you're Canadian, especially if you live on the border of America, if you live just to the north of it. What are you talking about? Shit tons of leftist, like, political commentators that talk about American politics exist in the UK and in Canada and whatnot. And if we're being completely honest, Canada is basically America light. Basically.
If he does, once again, he does not make it part of his YouTube career and personality because at the end of the day, it does not matter for a creator.
He streams, though, and I imagine when he streams, he occasionally talks about what's happening right now, and usually what's happening right now is somewhat related to politics. Like I've said, I don't think that I'm going to convince people to agree with me politically and they're going to become, like, leftist political commentators. Oh, yeah, I'm not showing the screen right now. I don't think that, like, I'm going to talk to these people and they're going to become leftist political commentators. I just want to know what their political beliefs are. I think it's interesting. I want to have conversations with them. I don't think that's, like, a bad thing. It's not
like him
manipulation.
To do anything. It doesn't matter if Mutahar comes out and makes leftist videos, okay?
That's not what I want.
It just comes off weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to be excited because someone has followed you, especially on, like, Twitter, it should be because they followed you and you enjoy them, not because I'm going to use them to infiltrate the community. Like, bro, this fool sounds like a fucking...
Sounds like, what's his name? Uber Danger's voice whenever he does the, it's just a community. Whenever he was talking about Classic WoW, it kind of reminded me of that.
Dragon Ball villain, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like after the Moro arc here in the manga, we're gonna have Xanderthal show up on fucking Earth after everybody's trying to heal up.
Come on, you said it. You said it right before, dude. You fucked it up. You said Xanderhal earlier, and then you said Xanderthal now. You said it. You said it right earlier. You can't do it wrong the second time. Doesn't work.
Infiltrate the Z fighters and convert them all to leftism. Like, I'm gonna make them extremely left-leaning. I haven't seen enough leftist representation in the Z fighters. I think Piccolo's pretty alt-right. Like, bro, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, get over yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's extremely...
This video is really weird. Like, not gonna lie, I feel like sure, I could have worded that clip way better. Absolutely. But I feel like even compared to, like, how badly I worded that clip, this feels, like, oddly aggressive, or, like, he's getting way angrier than he should be getting at it. I feel like he's extrapolating a ton of beliefs that I don't have from nothing, basically. Yeah, it kind of feels like a roller coaster almost. I don't know. Like, dude, if you want to, like, talk it out, we can. Like, my goal isn't to, like, manipulate and brainwash people. It's because, for one, I like talking to larger YouTubers for, like, a variety of reasons. One, I look up to many of them. Two, it helps me, obviously. Like, if you're a smaller YouTuber, you have a pretty strong interest in talking to larger YouTubers because, you know, this is your job and it can help you. And three, because I'm very interested in people's political beliefs. If there are large figures that, like, don't really talk about politics, I can't help but wonder what they believe politically. And I'm a political commentator, so if I'm going to talk to, you know, other YouTubers, it's generally going to be about politics.
Stupid, and this is the kind of stuff that makes me just wonder, like, bro, is this really the best use of your time? You know what I'm saying? Trying to fucking infiltrate the YouTube community that
I mean, evidently, yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is, actually. I mean, my channel's been growing very quickly from talking to people who are, like, not outwardly political, and yeah, it helps my channel. I enjoy doing it. I'm yeah, like all around, it seems to be pretty beneficial to me. It seems to be the best thing I can be doing with my time. Yeah, this is my job.
There's nothing about what you're about to try and do so you can quote unquote convert them and make them fucking come on your channel for a talk. So I just thought that was weird. I mean, I know
I don't know why I said quote unquote and then said something I've never said, but okay.
a lot of you are going to be very upset by this news. Your favorite YouTubers are not left-leaning enough. You know what I'm saying? I need to come on here every single day and tell you new facts about Bernie Sanders and all kinds of different leftist ideologies and beliefs. And we're going to go ahead, man, and I'm telling you what, we're going to convert you guys. All right? So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you didn't...
Okay. That was really weird. I kind of... That's not exactly what I expected it to be. Like I say, so I watch every video on my channel that I respond to, like, live for the first time. That was really weird. It feels like it was super... Like, he took a lot more out of the clip than was actually there and got way angrier about it than he actually should have. Should I tweet at him right now? Hold on. At sub to Optimus. I think that's his Twitter, I believe. Sub to Optimus. Hey, I saw your video. I hate myself. I hate it. About me earlier. Would you like to come on and talk about it? I'm live now. Well, I had a little smiley face there. There we go. Just a little smiley face. Actually, we'll make it a super smiley face, you know, the colon D. Put it in quotes. Hey, I saw your video about me earlier. Would you like to come on and talk about it? I'm live right now. All right. We'll say right now. There we go. Let's see. Does he follow me? I doubt he follows me. He doesn't. I'll follow him. He has to follow me now. If I follow him, then he has to follow me. That's how it works. That's the rule. We'll see if he comes on. I highly doubt that he will. But we got other stuff to cover today. That was pretty good. If you enjoyed that, make sure to subscribe. If you actually want to be notified when I upload anything or go live, because for some reason YouTube doesn't think the sub button's enough, you can hit the little, ring the little bell icon, because it's the only way that you're actually subscribed. Also, make sure to leave a like on the video and the stream. Helps a lot. I appreciate it. In the description is my Discord server. You can join my Discord. Big community, over 1,500 people there. It's a very fun time, very cool. You should definitely join, talk to people. You can even talk to me there sometimes. And I also have a Patreon and a join button on YouTube. So if you want to support me financially, you can sub to me on Patreon, or you can hit the little join button, become a member on the channel, or you can donate or sub on my YouTube if you've got extra money sitting around. You don't have to donate. It's just if you have extra change sitting around, you can help support the channel. And yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.